Good evening. Environmentalists want to stop a £40 million surf and water park in Kent from going ahead. They say it will threaten wildlife. The Sea Hive would be at the former colliery site at Betteshanger Country Park near Deal, as Sarah Saunders reports.
Plans for the Sea Hive water park at Betteshanger centre around a surf lagoon, generating 20 types of wave. It would be similar to the Wave Surf Park in Bristol. In Kent, there are also plans for retail and fitness zones and holiday lodges. But some environmental groups and the Friends of Betteshanger have concerns that rare and endangered wildlife on the site would be threatened by the proposal.
In the last couple of weeks, we've actually found 2 rare fungi in there. It works almost like an engine. You can't just take pieces out here and pieces out there and expect it to work in the way that it should.
It's not just a park, is it, to you?
It would be a travesty to actually build on this green open space with a development that, well, for one, it uses millions and millions and millions of litres of water, and we're in an area of water scarcity. This doesn't add up.
The Sea Hive group told us it supports the need to protect biodiversity here, and there are plans to create a new area of over 28 acres, dedicated to an ecologically led regime of enhancements and management. This area is 85% larger than the parcel of land on which the Sea Hive will sit, and that the surf project will fund an ecology warden for the park. There'll be a planning consultation period later this month. Sarah Saunders, ITV News, Betteshanger.
UK Border Force officers have begun patrolling French beaches along with local officials to stop the flow of migrants in small boats. They are observers only. The government has confirmed that more than 45,700 people crossed the Channel last year. A huge section of chalk has collapsed onto the beach near Peacehaven in Sussex. It's thought heavy rain contributed to the fall. People are advised to stay away from the top of the cliffs. Fire crews from 4 stations were called to a blaze at Partridge Green near Horsham early this morning. An outbuilding and residential annex were destroyed in the blaze, but no one was injured. The cause is being investigated. Parents have launched a petition to rescue a nursery that cares for children with special educational needs and disabilities. Ofsted has rated the Bright Start Centre as good with outstanding management. Yet Brighton councillors could shut it in a bid to save some £100,000. Andy Dickinson has more.
Some children's nurseries can become like a family, yet this family is at risk of being broken up. Parents coming together today as they campaign to fight plans to close their council-run playgroup, threatened by cuts.
It's just the best nursery in the world. It's the only nursery in the city centre of Brighton, so it's vital to the businesses in Brighton area. But also, as a council-run nursery, it puts care over profit. And as a result, it takes in children regardless of their abilities or their backgrounds or their circumstances. It's so vital.
Our son was 18 months old and got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and we luckily were already in the right place. They have got the best type 1 care in the whole of Brighton. They are the team that know what to do. And without them, I wouldn't be able to work, my husband wouldn't be able to work. They are our family. It'd be really detrimental if we didn't have them.
In a statement, the council has said that it's with a very heavy heart that it's having to consider closing the Bright Start nursery. That cuts in funding from central government over the last 10 years have seen its annual funding reduced in real terms by more than £100 million. Given our dire financial situation, it says every part of the council has been told to look at their service areas and identify potential savings.
The impact would be massive because there are lots of families with low income but also with special needs. People who can't speak English as their first language or struggle. So if the nursery closes, all of these families will be at loss.
Families recently protested outside Brighton Council, which adds that the nursery's building needs improvements. Yet Ofsted inspectors recently said children can hardly contain their excitement when they arrive at its doors. A decision on its and their future expected in February. Andy Dickinson, ITV News, Brighton.
Well, let's have a look at the weather forecast now with all the details. Here's Philippa Drew.
Feels like home, whatever the weather. Valent Boilers and Heat Pumps sponsors ITV Meridian Weather.
Hello there, hope you're having a lovely new year so far. The weather isn't looking quite so lovely over the coming days, all very unsettled, some spells of wet and windy weather, but at least with that it will be generally on the mild side. So this is how things will evolve over the coming days. Low pressure firmly in charge, fronts rattling in off the Atlantic accompanied by brisk and blustery winds at times, and perhaps just the briefest of respites on Friday with a little ridge of high pressure building. Out there at the moment though, things look relatively quiet. A few showers drifting their way in on the breeze through this evening, but these will tend to peter out as the night wears on. And underneath clear skies, temperatures taking quite a dip, as low as around 2 or 3 Celsius for inland rural spots, and that could give rise to just a touch of patchy grass frost by dawn. Tomorrow morning then, initially quite fresh and quite bright, but it won't be long before we see thickening cloud and rain moving its way eastwards, accompanied by some fairly blustery, gusty winds. Despite that, it will be a mild day. Temperatures, despite the cool start, back up into double figures. But for the next few days, it remains very changeable, wet and windy at times, but it should be frost-free. Bye-bye.
Valent sponsors ITV Meridian Weather.
Well, that's just about it from us for now, but Amanda will be back with your headlines tomorrow from 6 a.m. Plenty more on our website and Facebook page in the meantime, but from everyone here on the Weekend Team, thanks for watching and have a very good evening. Bye-bye.